Welcome back to EBT Performance Pakenham, the home of Squids Speed Shop. Hopefully you've just got done watching Eamon's video, Old Not Dead, on YouTube, where we put this thing together to do something that I haven't yet done. Essentially the goal in mind was to make 150 horsepower without doing machine work. There's been a bunch of kits out there. I've bought them all, you know, in the pursuit to get my customers where they wanted to be. And to be fair, all of these kits have done amazing, but they haven't got the 150. That was the key here. And I knew going into it that the exhaust that I have on my bike, which I love the look of, I love the sound, it's not a horsepower pipe. So I knew I was up against it from the get-go. But with a bunch of hard work and experience, I was looking through the parts, picking out some of my favorites, grabbing some new things. I thought, surely it's doable. And so here's my Lowrider ST, warts and all. So this bike I've had since 22. It's my daily. It's the parts getter, it's the groceries getter, it's the weekend trip, it's the month-long trip. This bike has to do it all. And my time was quite limited in what we had to build it. I've got lights to keep on at the shop. I've got customers. I had a small window and a small amount of money. And so I thought, yeah, let's go for it. No machine work, put the parts in, you know, have it be quick and dirty, check out a couple important things, throw it on the dyno and see what it does. And we were blown away with this thing coming out and making 152 horsepower. And for anybody that doesn't ride Harleys, that's fast. That's fucking fast. Yesterday we had a big rainstorm. I took it out. I could not get traction off the lights. So I'm gonna have to dumb it down a little bit, deaden the throttle response maybe, or rip a bunch of timing out to try and lower the power early on, just to get the traction when it's wet. Because this sees all the weather, as you can tell by the state of it. I'll pick this up, I'll take this around, and I'll just show you the few little mods that I have installed just for my daily use, things that I really rate, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the motor. Hopefully I don't make you all seasick, but we start with the bars. They're stock. Rices, they're stock. To be fair, it could do with 2 inches to make me perfectly comfortable, but they work quite well. Heater grips are a must here in Melbourne. Winter is cold, and I'm on it every day. They're just necessities at this point. Once you get heater grips, you can't go back. We've got the quad lock so I don't get lost. We've got the Saddleman diamond stitch seat. The main reason for running this seat was that it raised me up an inch, which gets me further away from the mid controls. It just stops me knees cramping up because I don't like forward controls. The mid control just gives you way more attack in the corners. Up the back, we've got a Cobra wide ass rack. You can throw quite a large luggage bag on there. It doesn't look too offensive, and it just means when I'm out there trying to get all of your parts, it makes my life a little bit easier. I don't have a car. I don't have a car license. I'm not interested in it. I never have been. It's bikes or nothing. And so this is it. This is how I'm getting your parts that aren't delivered. This is how I'm doing it. And then that is really about it. We've got the Bassani Supermoto 2-in-1. Now this was originally stainless. The person who owned it before me decided they would rattle can it black, and it was looking tatty. And so I sent this exhaust off to have it like high temp coated. And the company at the time, they were sort of just trying things out, and they thought they could get it done. And they did me a ripper deal. And so I was like, yep, cool, we'll give it a go. The first coat didn't take, so they happily gave it another shot and put it on the bike. Within a couple of weeks, it had already started to flake off. And so I wasn't too worried. This being the daily, it gets a hard life anyway. And so it's just started to mark up and tatter up. And look, I always like my bikes a little bit rough around the edges. For those who know me and know my Lowrider S that I had before this, rat rod is definitely my vibe. And so in keeping with sort of keeping things simple, still got the chrome push rods, chrome covers. Nothing looks too out of place on this bike, and you don't immediately scream 150 horsepower when you look at it. And that's also a big part of what I like about my bikes. I like them to look fairly stock and then go like the clappers. And so getting into what was actually done to this bike, before I had it set up as just a stage 2. I had the 475, I had stock headers, slip-ons, and 55mm manifold from S&S. And I did a little hand port on it because I know there's a few boys out there doing that, and you know what, it did help a little bit. Not a ton, but a little bit. And so I rode it in that combination for about a year and a half. And to be fair, it made more horsepower with the stock headers and the slip-ons than when I swapped over to the Bassani. It was a little bit disappointing, but it did pick up some torque, and sounds good, and it looks good. So sometimes you got to make that call. Is it about looks? Is it about peak performance? In that stage 2 setup, it was great. It was a great daily package. I'm not going to get wrong, and realistically, it probably could have done with, you know, a big ball kit thrown in it, and I would have been happy for a while. But no, you can't have your own speed shop and have a slow bike. Like that's not it. So came up with a plan. I'd already been talking to Eamon. We filmed Dyno tuning his bike. You can go check that out on his channel. But I thought maybe he would want to see it, and you know, maybe you guys would want to see it. So we went about building the motor, tuning it up, and ripping it. So what we've got is stock heads. I've put high lift springs in it. I was going to shim the rocker arms to quiet them down, but they were within the spec that I wanted. I'm running a 65mm CNC manifold from V-Twin Performance out of the States. I've got the Screamin 64mm throttle body, and then the stock air cleaner that comes with the bike. I just wanted to see what that would do. I'm not a huge fan of it, and typically like to upgrade it to one of the extreme ventilators or heavy breathers that Screamin put out. We've got Screamin push rods, adjustable push rods, stock oil pump and cam support plate. We're running my all-time favourite cam from Star Racing, the 3/4. It's all the things you want. Super torquey, runs good up top, and just rips. It's if you guys haven't looked into George Bryce, Google him now. He's a genius. And for the big ball kit, it's S&S 132 barrel and pistons, and then Fuel Moto made up a set of custom pistons, high comp to run with that cam. And the combination is just sweet. We also, if you watch the video, we also add a couple little extras, just niceties. I'm running the S&S piston jets with the essentially they just run 2 oil squirters instead of 1, just to keep a little bit more lubrication on the load side or thrust side of the piston, and to lubricate the gudgeon pin. I'm running the S&S tappet cuffs with SE lifters, and then we have the upgraded S&S breather maze, for lack of a better word. The stock one's plastic, can deform, and I'm trying to keep everything out of the intake as much as I can, and so to do that, good breather setup, good barrel and pistons, and I shouldn't have any problem with that down the road. This bike was tuned with Maximus, the Techno Research Direct Link setup, and to be fair, it's a good product if you know how to use it. I'm very familiar with all the other brands. I use them interchangeably depending on what my customer wants. It's from Dyno, Thundermax, Power Commander, HP tuners. I'm looking into using them at the minute. And you can get the same result with all of them. You just got to spend the time. And so that's what we did with this one. I thought for something a little more interesting, I thought I'll cut to the state of my workbench after the day of filming. So filming the build was always going to be a delay. I knew that I was going to have to go like the clappers all day to even make it possible. Typically I like to spend 2 days building the motors. You know, finally measuring everything, cleaning, just making sure everything's perfect. And I'd done a little bit of the legwork for this, prepping everything, ring gaps, cylinder to piston clearances, weighing the pistons, getting that all matched up. I did as much as I sort of could off camera before we started filming, just to make it quick and easy. But I'll cut to the state of my bench after that day. And those who have worked with me know that I can be quite messy, but this was outrageous for the day. Here we go, boys. It's about 12:30 at night. It's been a long day trying to get this bike filmed, and this is the aftermath of what has been a whirlwind. So just enjoy it. So we're working out on the t-shirts, trying to get stuff together. One of my favourites so far is the Wastelands, for all you lone wolves. It's hopefully they'll be available soon. The next one is quite popular with a bunch of my friends. I know it's a bit of a teenage dance, nu metal look. And lastly, everybody's favourite, the classic. So if you're at all interested, have a look on the website, come into the shop. Hopefully they'll be ready soon. Cheers. And with my ST, for those who want to see the dyno readings, here we have the STD corrected data. So pretty much 153, 165. Essentially at 2,250 RPM, we're already at 140 foot-pound. And we don't drop below that until 5.5. That is one of the broadest torque lines I've ever seen, and the horsepower just climbs. So for those not in the know, this is our torque line here, and our horsepower just climbs to the moon. And then for all the people that don't like STD, I'll bring up the SAE. That's no worries to me. SAE 149.95 horsepower. Top Gear math, that's 150. And 162 foot-pound. Exact same torque curve. And we sort of go, well, how did I get it there? A lot of time spent tuning. The combination had it. It was just about getting the fuel and timing accurate for what it wanted. That's all dyno tuning is. There's a lot of black magic, so to speak, out there. It's really just about reviewing the data and making the corrections. And the video wouldn't be complete. Like, I bet you're all sitting there. Start it up. Start it up. We've got to hear it. You guys want to hear what 150 horsepower sounds like? There it is, guys. Sounds insane. I hope you enjoyed the little look around my bike. I'm gonna try and film more, let you guys in on what I've got going on at the shop, and just show you the day to day. Have a look at me Instagram, which is EBT Pakenham. Facebook's the same, and on YouTube with Squids Speed Shop. I've got merch in the works. I'll just in case you want to come into the shop and show your support. That's really about it. If not, come in and let's build something fast. Like that's what I do here. Build fast stuff, tune it up. So I'm gonna try my hand at this YouTube. I'll do. Look, I'm not promising nothing, but subscribe, comment, let me know what you want to see. It's share it with your buddies. I would really like to just show what I've got going on. So, cheers.